In 1995, a sci-fi show quietly appeared that didn't feel like sci-fi at all. No optimism, no clean futures, no heroic speeches, just war. Cold, messy, human war. Space, above and beyond lasted one season, and then vanished. No ending, no resolution, just a cliffhanger. Now, nearly 30 years later, Disney might be bringing it back, and if they are, this might be one of the few reboots that actually makes sense. The setup. Before we get into the reboot, we need to talk about what this show actually was, because if you've never seen it, you might think this is just another forgotten 90s sci-fi show. It's not. This was created by two of the minds behind The X-Files, Glenn Morgan and James Wong. And instead of mystery, they gave us something much harsher: war in space. What made it different? Set in 2063, humanity gets hit hard by an alien race, the Chigs. No build-up, no diplomacy, just conflict. And we follow the 58th Squadron, the Wildcards, young, inexperienced, completely expendable. And here's the key thing: this wasn't about winning, it was about surviving. That's a massive difference. Most sci-fi gives you heroes. This gave you soldiers, tired, scared, making bad decisions under pressure. It felt closer to a war drama than anything else on TV at the time. And honestly, even now it still feels different. Themes. This is where the show quietly outclasses a lot of modern stuff, because it had something most reboots forget: actual ideas. Let's start with the in vitros. Tanks, artificial humans, born fully grown, designed for labour and war, and treated like property, not people. That's not just sci-fi, that's commentary, civil rights, identity, what defines a human being. Then you've got the silicats, AI, machines that turned on humanity, not evil for the sake of it, but because of how they were treated. Again, sound familiar? We're having those conversations now, about AI, about autonomy, about control. This show was doing it in 1995, and it didn't spoon-feed it, it trusted the audience. That's rare, even now. Why it failed. So why did it die? Simple answer: not the writing, not the concept, the scheduling. Fox moved it around constantly. Different time slots, up against NFL games. Viewership dropped, and because it was expensive, that was it, gone. 23 episodes, cancelled. And this is the frustrating bit: it didn't fade out, it stopped mid-story. No closure, no ending, just silence. The lost plan. This is where it gets painful, because they had a full roadmap. 5 seasons, planned, structured. Season 2, Colonel McQueen, played by James Morrison, survives, but comes back broken, physically, mentally. A soldier who gave everything, and comes home to a world that doesn't understand. That's a very different kind of storytelling. And the long-term arc, the Chigs weren't just invaders, there was a deeper biological connection. The war wasn't simple, and the ending: no giant explosion, no easy victory, a peace treaty, survivors raising a toast to the ones who didn't make it. That's not blockbuster storytelling, that's mature storytelling. Why Disney is looking at this. Now we get to the present. Disney owns this through the Fox acquisition, and right now streaming is in a very weird place. Everyone wants recognizable IP, but also something different, and ideally something scalable. And here's the interesting bit. There's been internal discussion about wanting a darker sci-fi property something grounded, something serious. And at the time, Ryan Coogler is working on a new version of The X-Files. That matters, because if that works, it proves this style can come back. And if you're Disney, you look at Space, Above and Beyond and think, this is usable, this fits modern audiences, and crucially, it doesn't come with impossible expectations. It's not Star Wars, it's not Marvel, it has room to breathe. The real problem. Here's the issue, and this is where things usually fall apart. Modern reboots don't fail because the idea is bad, they fail because they misunderstand the tone. If this gets rebooted and it becomes glossy, quippy, overproduced, it's dead on arrival.
Game over!
Because this world only works if war feels heavy, decisions have consequences, characters make mistakes, and not everyone survives. If you turn the Wildcards into action heroes, you've missed the point completely. This should feel uncomfortable at times. It should feel slow when it needs to, quiet, reflective. That's where the weight comes from. A personal note. I remember watching this back in the mid-90s, and it stuck. Not because it was flashy, but because it felt real, or as real as sci-fi could feel. And when it ended, it didn't feel finished. It felt taken away, and that's why this reboot conversation matters. Final verdict. Right now, it's not confirmed. No green light, still in development discussion, but closer than it's ever been. And if it happens, it might actually be one of the few reboots worth doing. If they get it right, what do you think? Should Space, Above and Beyond come back? Or should it be left alone? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy breaking this stuff down, hit like, subscribe, because there's a lot more of this coming.